So the doctor said, if this is my thermometer, where's my pen?
Once again, we're avoiding walking here at ERS by any means necessary. What are we doing now?
We are taking a tour of Arlington National Cemetery.
Okay, what are we going to take?
That.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. No walking for us today.
Nope.
Section 13. And in the distance, on the driver's side of the vehicle, will be a large statue that is facing the south, and that is the Confederate Memorial.
As you look at each individual section, what you will find is an array of markers at each individual gravesite. The markers come in two basic categories. The white ones you see predominantly to your right. These are the standard marker, which is provided by the United States government, and they are provided free of charge to the individual families, so you do have to consider them a veteran's benefit. 24 inches in height, 13 inches in width, 4 inches in thickness, made of white marble, and that has been the material for markers in National Military Cemetery since the year 1879.
The changing of the guard is a beautiful ceremony performed at the tomb of the unknown soldier. These guys are literally there 24/7, 365, guarding the tomb of the unknown soldier. Just Google tomb of the unknown soldier, bad weather, and you will see these guys in blizzards, in heavy rain. No matter what, that tomb is going to be guarded by these guys. They called sentinels. And from what I understand, it's a huge screening process and rigorous training to be able to perform at the tomb of the unknown soldier. If you want to see more, if you want to see the whole ceremony, I'm going to put the link of the video in the video description. Now this has got to be the best view of DC, and it's from the mansion, the front steps mansion of Robert E. Lee. Now, we were lucky enough to get a tour of the White House, and as per usual, we weren't allowed to do any videotaping. However, we could take as many pictures as we wanted. Every president is allowed their own china, and this cabinet shows the different types of china that each president had. Some of these rooms were roped off at the entrance, so you can only merely stick your camera in there and take some pictures. The whole tour is pretty cool. There's security out the yin-yang there. God knows what they check you for. They x-ray you. You have to stand on some pedal that blows air at you. I have no idea. But the security, there's a security guard right there. In each room, you had a Secret Service guy. Here's the red room. God knows how they came up with that name. To get a tour of the White House, all you have to do is contact your congressman, and I don't know what goes in after that. I think you got to give them your information or whatnot. But my mother-in-law actually had a contact with a congressman, so that's how we ended up getting the tickets. Now these steps lead all the way up to the president's room, and they told us a lot of celebrities, including Stevie Wonder, played at this piano. The best part of the tour is you actually walk out. It ends at the front door of the White House. And here we are at the National Holocaust Museum, and oh wow, there's no way to describe the horrors that you see here. It just puts in perspective the whole dichotomy of human emotions, how much hatred it took for all the horrible things that they did to these people, and yet how much love it took to overcome and be able to survive all this terror and all this horror. Coming up is an art piece of the whole phase of what they go through. Here they are getting out of those horrendous trains, then they go into the gas chambers, then they strip naked, and then they move on to the gas chambers, and there's you can see right there them putting the pellets in the gas chambers, and just the people suffering and asphyxiating, and then eventually dying off. And I'll end this video with some words from the Holocaust survivors themselves. I apologize about the audio. I didn't have any of my microphones with me.
And it was freezing cold, and it was mud. The roads were out of gravel and mud, and our feet were ice cold. It was like you are in hell, and that's part of hell. The jobs were very, very, very hard, and I don't know what they were trying to make us do, but we were carrying big rocks, tremendous stones. They told us to go from one hillside to the next with those rocks, and we had to carry them. We had no gloves, we had no working clothes, we scratched our bodies from the scraping of the rocks, and we carried them back and forth, and our backs and feet were aching us with no food, no water, and we did this all day long. And whoever fell and couldn't do it, they just whipped, and the dogs were walking next to us.
You are really a slave. You were rented out by the SS to active farm. I was therefore a slave working for the benefit of the SS for active farm, and I was aware of the fact that I was allowed to live only as long as I was able to do this kind of work.
I remember when I used to walk to work, and the SS would go next to me, walking side to side. And I used to in German say, "Hab dich in der Welt," which means I have you underground, I will survive. He used to turn around and say, "What hast du gesagt?" I say nothing. So I motivate myself not to survive. You know, I used to say very terrible things to them, and they used to turn around, "What hast du gesagt?" And this was mine getting even a little bit with it.